Hi there from Bugeye guys. Today I want to show you this tube shock conversion kit that we're offering, and I want to tell you why I think this is a really important development. We're approaching our 400th Bugeye sold, so we're constantly working hard to produce the best riding, best driving Bugeyes in the world, and we often run into a problem with that is centered right here. This is a front lever shock. If you're unfamiliar, this is what was used on all Spridgets, Sprites and Midgets from 1958 through 1980. This is a key link to the suspension, the upper link. This controls the top portion. The control arm is the lower portion. So the whole front end is relying on that top arm and this bottom arm, the A arm, the control arm, to operate in parallel or parallel to one another. And this arm is vital because it's damped internally through this lever shock, and these fail all the time. They wear out. All of them have been in the field forever. All of them, if they've been rebuilt, even the rebuilt ones are starting to fail at an alarming rate. They leak, and it's also just a single arm. The big Heelys, MGAs, and MGBs as well have a double arm. The Sprite lever shock being a single arm, of course, it stresses this assembly a little bit differently. And while there are some good rebuilders out there, we just have found this to be an expensive and weak link in the puzzle of trying to make these cars spectacular once again. So enter this tube shock conversion kit. It's fit on this car, and I thought I would show it to you so you could see how we're trying to wean off of our dependency on these sort of antiquated lever shocks. And this thing works really well. In particular, it has an adjustable valve right here. I have it set on the softest setting because I really like a little bit more mellow ride. These are short cars, and I think you need whatever comfort you can get, so I have it on the softest setting, and the ride quality is excellent. So the secret of this whole thing is that it's mounting through the control arm on both of these points, and this link crosses across the entire control arm. Of course, you can still mount the sway bar on the front on top of it, and then the rear mount for the tube shock hangs off the back of the control arm. And that's kind of cool because all of the new control arms are coming through pre-drilled for the sway bar on both sides so that they're not handed. In other words, you can use this control arm on either side. And as a result, that opens up an opportunity to mount the tube shock conversion in that location. So that's kind of nice. You can do it without drilling. Up above, we have a new upper link right here to replace the arm that holds, that originally was the arm of the lever shock. And there's another big advantage here in that that arm on this tube shock conversion is a little shorter, which gives you some negative camber. Now originally, if I can do this one-handed, originally these tires came from the factory with positive camber, just slightly positive camber. That was the original spec. Of course, you're working at that time with a skinny little bias ply tire. Now we have a modern radial. This one actually is a 175 tire, so you have a much different contact patch. And that shorter arm allows you to cant the tire at 3 degrees negative, which gives you better cornering, better handling, and with a wide tire like this, a much better contact patch as you're leaning into turns. So it's kind of a nice additional upgrade from this conversion. So you do have to make one modification for the brake line routing. If you have a Mark I Bugeye or Frog Eye, the brake line here is drilled through that sheet metal. Initially, it went through this tang and connected under the bonnet, out of sight for here. But that little tang, you no longer use it, and you mount the brake line, as you can see here in the video, and it's just to the right of the shock absorber and passing through the sheet metal that way. And not a difficult modification to make. And the tube shocks fit in this space quite nicely. Of course, when the car is off the lift, there's more clearance here, but they fit well. And so this is a really impressive modification. if you're tired of changing your lever shocks every few years, or if they've been leaking on you and you have to send them in and get them replaced, and you want to shortcut that whole hassle, I think you'll very quickly recoup the cost of this tube shock conversion. You'll enjoy better handling, and you'll have much more consistency. You know, much like a disc brake conversion that is always consistently right where you need it to be, unlike the drum brakes that need adjustment, this tube shock conversion should give you constant results for a very long time, since tube shocks wear out so much more slowly than the lever shock equivalent. So I'm very excited to have this as one more option in our quiver of things we can offer clients to get the best quality ride and performance from their Bugeye. And if you have drum brakes and want to get new control arms, we sell a disc brake conversion. You could do the tube shocks at the same time. Thanks for watching from Bugeye Guys.